Would you say he was the first name you wrestled in professional wrestling, or was there
Yeah,
somebody before? Okay.
yeah. I'd say he was the first name, but then with the Harley stuff, which came pretty quickly after that, I got some really good opportunities. King Mabel was King Mabel at the time,
Mhm.
and they had used him in a series of handicap matches, and then put us in there as a single. And I remember him, the finish of the match. I had already worked Hacksaw Butch Reed, and my knee popped out of place on that one, so I was already working kind of handicapped. But I remember Nelson saying, he goes, "Hey, cowboy," because I was doing a cowboy gimmick. He said, "You take a crossbody off the second rope from me?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I will." And what is that? 500 pounds, and
Oof.
at the time I was 300 pounds. So we legitimately bent the metal crossbar in the middle, and I remember thinking this is the longest 3 seconds of my life because I can't breathe. I just wish they'd count faster.
That's crazy. What an experience. And especially for you to go on to work with him on an even bigger stage in the future, which
Yeah.
which we'll get to. But that is actually brings up a curious question. You said your goal was to have a professional wrestling match, and then your goal was to get better.
hmm
At any point, especially during this time, did you at all start to get the goal of I want to go to WWF, I want to go to WCW, maybe even ECW, because at the time they were still around?
I know that I knew I wasn't ready yet, but some of our guys were doing shots with Bill and then making the trip to ECW. And I started getting those thoughts of maybe that's something that maybe I can work toward. Uh, it took me a long time to, and again, remember that especially before I moved to Texas, I was living the American lifestyle, right? I mean, I was very much house, car payment, vice president, um, 2 kids, insurance. I was doing all of that, and there was no point where I thought, what I should do is leave my family behind
Yeah.
and go out and become a wrestler full time. I didn't. I felt too much of responsibility toward my family to even consider that. Now later on, when I get to Texas and I start getting other opportunities and I start getting better, there were some discussions, but yeah, at that point, it was just I just got to get better. I got to not embarrass myself. I got to get better every time.